dead end hip hop. What your man?
I tripped the dog.
See? Oh, damn, Ken.
My bad, shit.
Mr. Muthafuckin Exquire. And, I took a listen to the album a few times, and I honestly don't even know what to think about it. I don't have an opinion formulated yet. There are some tracks that I definitely. No, I'm serious. There are some tracks on there that I definitely like. I find the guy witty, a little amusing. He emulates a couple of people's flows, which I think is intentional. 50 Cent, I think I heard a little bit of Dr. Dre. Fire Marshal Bill probably was one of my favorite songs. I like the Huzzah remix. But honestly, I don't really know what to think. I really have no opinion about this guy, at all. So I'm just at a loss right now.
I listened to it. I ain't gonna lie. The first 3-4 tracks, I was like, okay, what is this I'm about to listen to? But when it got to track 5, what was that? Meat sandwich and something else. Yeah, from that track to the rest of the album, I was like, okay, yeah, I can dig this album. This album was pretty cool. And I didn't want to sound too biased, because I ain't gonna lie. The reason why I was interested in listening to it because I saw Necro and LP on the production, so I was like, okay, I'm about to listen to this right away. And then actually, my favorite songs on the album are the tracks that wasn't produced by LP. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I can't remember the exact names of them though right now, but I thought it was. I mean, it don't go hard in recycle bin. I'ma still have it. I'ma still have it in my iPod and listen to it occasionally. So I mean, I like it overall. It's a good album. Cop it, download it. Whatever.
You know what? I'm with Ken for the most part. Like I can't say I like it. I can't say I like it. There's songs on there that I like. There's production on there that I like. But overall, I can't fuck with it. I really can't. You know what I'm saying? Like I like the cock meat sandwich / something piss. I like that track. I like the chicken shit. Like that was funny. He has a lot of funny stuff on there, and I love Build a Bitch. That is so funny.
Did you peep the Drake? The Drake.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. That guy is witty, man. He's funny, man.
He is. And he reminds me of young 50 Cent. He reminds me of the 50 Cent.
Young 50 Cent?
Yeah, of like the How to Rob 50. You know what I'm saying? Making fun of people.
He kind of takes shots at people, but I don't know about young 50 Cent.
Not
like there's some subliminal.
Yeah.
There's some subliminal stuff.
But
a little bit too.
LP had the tightest verse on that joint though for me in that remix, that Last Huzzah remix. He had. I don't know if Mike might remember some lines, but LP said some stuff on that verse, on that last one. He killed everybody on that verse.
I got a lot to say about. I'm gonna wait.
Go ahead.
The LP verse, I'm gonna wait. There's some shit in that verse.
Mike can back me up on that LP. He can back me up on that LP verse.
I totally see what you guys are saying, and I agree that there are really great tracks on here on this mixtape. But the thing is the mixtape as a listening experience from beginning to end is a little tiring. A lot of the same aesthetic over and over and over. When you go into this mixtape, you gotta be wanting and you gotta be expecting something really loose, really dirty, gritty, filthy, and not even filthy in a dangerous way, kind of filthy in you haven't showered in a couple weeks, kind of filthy. That's kind of the unkempt aesthetic. The guy's really indulgent and he's got no shame. But still, because of that, there are moments where you get, I got the chicken spot and then the liver spot. But in that same vein or whatever, you get, what is it? I think it's the 6th track or the 5th track. At the end, he's recording himself getting a blowjob.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's it would have been a funny skit if it lasted 20 seconds, but it goes over a minute, and it's you're hearing the microphone get hit, and I'm imagining the whole thing in my head. I'm this girl in the face with the microphone?
You know, another track that I felt some type of way about was the Regrets track. How he did the whole Jay-Z thing and switched up the beat. I didn't like that. I did not like that. I didn't like that.
Y'all been talking too fucking long. I thought this shit was fucking great, man. Like this album to me is like the definition of a great mixtape. Like this dude, and I think the reason I liked it so much was because he was going over, you know, some of my favorite production. He's going over some classic L beats. He's going over, you know, the Huzzah was a necro beat from like an old mixtape. And the dude, to me, he sounds so fucking NYC. Like, he sounds like what I want a grimy, dirty ass New York rapper to sound like. He sounds disgusting. Like he said, he sounds like he hadn't showered. He even looks like he hadn't showered.
Yeah.
But in a cool way to me. Like, no one really sounds like that to me anymore. Like, no one's really bringing that just, I am true to life filthy, but I can still fucking rhyme. He can rhyme his ass off.
It's got a really great grimy personality to it, and it's like, you know, in that respect, it really reminds me of like Old Dirty Bastard, you know, like less in your face, less, you know, less volume, less freakiness, but it's like the dirtiness is still there. I like the personality, but there are a lot of tracks on here that to me where just like the vocals are mixed really bad, you can't even tell what he's saying because the beat is too loud or something like that. Just like something feels off, you know, on a lot of the tracks, like Beezy said, a lot of the tracks before the 6th track, before the 5th track, just don't, you know, outside of Huzzah or outside of Chicken Spot, just feel like really kind of muddy, you know, and it's like I'm not getting a lot out of it. But like, especially toward the end of the mixtape, a lot of the songs feel clearer, they feel catchier. It's like you're hearing them better, and I don't know, maybe by then my ears had just adjusted to the filthiness or something. And FIFO just mentioned the Regrets track. That track, and what's the other track? I Should Be Sleeping. Yeah. He's got like some deeper moments on this album where, even though he's got these filthy, nasty tracks, you can still take him seriously. You know, it's like he's being real, and you know, he's telling you something really personal, but I can still follow him on it. You know.
And that's the main reason why I like that song Build a Bitch, because he was talking about how women want security. Bitch, you just want my money. And he's talking about like building a chick, which is funny as hell, but he's being super real about it. So I could relate to that, you know what I'm saying? And I don't hate the mixtape, you know what I'm saying? I it's not made for me, but I could appreciate some of the tracks he has on there because I could relate to some of it, but some of it I can't feel it.
I think it's just like I said, I think it's just a New York mixtape. I think like I'm pretty sure everybody here has been in New York, and you know how fucking filthy it is. Like he's talking about pissing on the subway, like he said, going to just random ass chicken spots. Just like he's talking about NYC shit, like real like shit. And I think the thing I liked about it so much was the production that he's using, like the chicken spot track. Like he's using a classic Cannibal Ox track, which is a very serious track. The fact that he took that track and turned it into a song about chicken and alcohol, I think it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, and I think, you know, I actually I had to check to see how many songs that I pulled off of it. I pulled like 10 that I liked off of the mixtape. It's not necessarily the mixtape itself. It's not necessarily his ability or, you know, to rap. It's just like I don't really kind of really understand him a little bit yet.
Right.
You know, like, what's next for Mr. Muthafuckin Exquire?
Well, he's had, you know,
Toward the beginning of the mixtape, he said you gotta say the motherfucking because it's nothing without it. I feel what Mike's saying, and the thing is like, what I want to say to Ken is like, you know, he's really dirty, he's really grimy, but you know, his personality is that he's really self-aware of that. You know, because like he'll have that track, like the chicken spot track, but you know, he'll throw a rhyme in there like, they say it's junk food, but it's real to me. You know, or there's another track on there where he's talking about some other rappers, and he said something like, I'd rather fail at being me than succeed at being you. You know, so it's like he throws in a lot of these moments where, yeah, I know I'm really dirty and filthy, and I could be something else, but this is what I'd rather be. And I get what you're saying. It's like, where does he grow from here? And you know, the thing is like, I think he can maintain this personality and get some better production, you know, like get some better beats or get some better mixing. Not to say that a lot of the beats are bad, but it's just like, a lot of this mixtape literally felt like I was listening to a cassette that had been played like 100 times and like was left in the sun and it's like all warped and shit. And it's like, I put it in and I'm like, why does this sound so, there's just like, it's not crispy, toward the beginning of the tape, but toward the end it gets better.
But you know what? To that point, maybe he was intentionally going for that particular sound.
He totally was.
Yeah,
it sounds like a dirty NYC subway.
It's right. It's some real ass shit on the mixtape. Right. It's some real shit there, man. And he gives you himself, and he does take jabs at the industry and some of the blogs and stuff like that. So it's some real ass shit on it. But like C-Town said, he is rapping over other people's beats. What's his sound?
But let me go back to what he said though. If you think about an LP beat, especially something off of his later albums, like I'll Sleep With Your Dead, if you listen to those beats, there's nothing crispier than those beats. But when you listen to him on this mixtape, they sound a little mudded out. I think he's doing that on purpose. Because even his previous mixtape, was kind of like this. Like, that's what I was saying. It's not really so much of a matter of growing. This is just who he is. Oh. He's had a mixtape and an EP before this, and he's been like this. Okay. Whenever you heard someone this close to Wu, like 95 Wu, think about it. Like, this dude is
New York.
He's New York.
He totally references Wu-Tang in his words too, and I'm not saying that the mixtape is necessarily bad because of the mixing. I mean, what I'm doing is kind of repeating Ken's question, and it's basically, where does he grow from here? He's been like this. He's got this other mixtape out. He's got this EP out. But where do you go from this dirty aesthetic without kind of just repeating yourself over and over and over?
Maybe nowhere. Maybe this is it. Maybe he just will be that gritty, grimy, NYC guy.
He's a 2011 ODB, and that's just what he's gonna be.
Yeah, I think he may be cool with that. I think he can eat off that. So, I don't know. I don't really know where to place him as an artist. Lyrics, yes. Production, yes. This tape is cool. I got 10 tracks off of it that I can fuck with. But, it's like, as an artist, if I see Mr. Muthafuckin Exquire has another mixtape out, will I want to download that shit? And you know what? In all honesty, I probably will, just to see what is he doing now. Is there something different?
Like this, man. In a world of fucking, I keep talking about this dude. I'm not trying to hate. But in a world of people like Drake, that these really clean rappers, you need a Mr. Motherfucking Exquire. You need someone to come out and be like, we need an ODB to come out and just rhyme nonsense, but dope. Everybody wants to make everything so fucking glamorous. We got money, we riding in this. Yeah. He's probably riding a bike to the subway with a 40 in his backpack. And he's real. He's 100% real. I love that shit.
And I agree 100% with you guys. He is a dirty, gritty, he's like that nasty nigga everybody know. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's that nasty dude. It's like you may hang out with him, but then you don't want to sit next to him when he comes. Stinks. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I feel y'all on that. I feel y'all, but I still can't really fuck with it like that. Like,
you're too clean.
I guess so. Maybe. I'm too crispy.
Get off that Drake shit. God damn it.
I'm too crispy for Mr. Motherfucking Exquire.
Well, listening to you guys talk and thinking about kind of his relation to ODB and just how much I kind of see between the both of them and which ODB records I like most and why. I mean, the reason I like Return of the 36 Chambers so much, that era Old Dirty Bastard against his second album, is pretty much because I feel like on his first album he had so much more impact because not like it was cleaner. I mean, I think there were tracks on the next LP where he was cleaner, like Got Your Money, that were poppier, more radio friendly than Shimmy Shimmy Ya. But to me, the dirty version of 36 Chambers just has so much more direction, it has more impact, it has more focus, whereas right now, especially on this mixtape, I like the dirty aesthetic. Some of the muddiness of the tape can be alright, it's I get that he's going dirty with it, but it's it doesn't really punch at me, it just leaves me thinking about some of the tracks, faintly that I really liked, but as a whole, it's not like this focused, 1-2 punch that the dirty version, kind of reminds me of. It's kind of all over the place for me a little bit. Huzzah was a good fucking track, and the remix at the end was really great too. I loved. I thought it's LP was great on that, but I thought everybody did a great job. I thought Das Racist was especially hilarious.
I'm sorry, but that the LP verse on this album showed why this dude will always be in my top 5 favorite MCs. This was one of the best verses I've heard in a long time. And until I really dissected the verse, I did like y'all do Jay-Z. Y'all was talking about that Jay-Z shit is so coded.
Yeah.
When you first listen to the L verse, you're like, man, that's a dope ass verse. But then when you really listen to it, I don't know if you noticed this. You noticed that he was going up in increments with numbers? You did not.
I did.
You did not. You did not. Did you
Go
really?
ahead.
You
Yeah,
caught
I
when he said L-O-Vent? When he meant 11? And you caught that when he said
yes, dude,
the dopest
I
part
listened to the
was
verse like 10 times,
the
bro.
last
It was
4
crazy.
verses, I think, were fucking unreal. Where he said, with inverted 31s and unlucky omens, that's why I drink 7 and 7s till I'm fucking homeless. And he said, as soon as you think my last 15 minutes of fame are up, I spend another 16 to prove to the world I fucking own it. Now think about this. He said, with inverted 31s, 13. That's why I drink 7 and 7s till I'm fucking homeless. 7 and 7, 14. When you think my 15 minutes of fame are up, I spent another 16. I'm like, oh my God. And he's doing this shit throughout the whole verse. And he's not just going 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
He's going like dozen. But when he did the L event, I didn't get it at first. I was like, wait a minute, 11? Like, come on, man. LP is a fucking monster.
So final thoughts on Esquire, man.
I like it. I mean, for me, 5 on to the rest is just, it's good. I like it, man.
What's up?
Man, I can't. It's not for me. There's tracks and production on there that I like, and there's stuff I don't like. But it's good. It's just not for me though. It's just not for me.
I think it's great. If you like dirty ass NYC hip hop, if you like riding on a fucking train with a 40 in your backpack, pissing in your pants, trying to talk to some chick, Mr. Motherfucking Esquire is for you.
That's right.
Run that shit.
You know, I think if you know, echo everything that C-Town said, it's not a bad mixtape. I think a lot of you out there, if you like, lyrics, if you like, grimy production, if you like that grimy, dark, dirty ass, NYC hip hop, man, this would be for you. I think, for me, it's just I'm looking at it from an artistic perspective, and just where does, what's next. So, definitely curious to see what happens with Mr. Motherfucking Esquire.
As far as I feel about the Mr. It's like it's really gritty. Coming to this expecting something, something with a lot of dirt on it, and I don't think it's the most consistent thing in the world, but the guy has a lot of personality. Which even when I'm listening to a track that I'm not huge on, I still want to listen through it. See what he says, see what the next track is. Even though I wasn't hot on every track, I never gave up on the mixtape, but found myself like really skipping around. I have my favorites, but the guy's got a ton of personality, and because of that, I'm gonna be looking out for whatever he's putting out next. The Needledrop, Mr. Motherfucking Exquire, Dead End Hip Hop, forever.
I like that cut, Mr. Motherfucking Exquire.
We just did a review of him. Yeah.
He's I dig him. Like it's an old feeling. New York feeling. Right? Yeah.
That's what you were saying. That's what I was saying.
In the review.
It feels so New York to me, that album.